Live. You're live. It says I'm live. Hello. Hang on, I need to turn this camera down a bit. Oh. Where's my doodah? Hello. We are live. Live in the house. Have we got everything set up? Analytics. It's getting warm in here. Are you on?
Yeah, just come and see what it's like.
Bit empty at the minute. Is it? Can you hear me all right?
Yeah, I can hear you fine. Just seems a bit dark in there tonight.
Well, I've not got that other light on. Hey?
Ludo's watching it.
1 2 1 2. You still hear me all right? On the thing? Because I've been messing about with the sound and it sounds really echoey in here tonight. We'll be all right. Anyway, so here we are, live streaming yet again. Not many of you in so far. But it's early doors. Hang on a minute, I'm going to have to take this jumper off. It's getting quite warm in here. That's better. We're sorted now. Let me put some earphones back on. I perhaps don't even need these because I can see you on the screen. Yeah, welcome back to another live stream. I did one 2 weeks ago. I do get requests from some people who want it a bit more regular, but I was going to do it once a month. But just check my settings are all okay. All right, that's fine. Analytics, lovely jubbly. We're all sorted. So today's topics, I've not got any for topics lined up, so I'll just be talking rubbish as per usual. Probably talk about current events. Don't want to bore you too much with that though. Today, it's been quite a nice day today actually. The weather's been rather pleasant. Tomorrow it's going to be peeing with rain. Evening, Tina. I know you're only in the other room. I ought to do this, didn't I? Get some advertising on. Yes, today the weather has been rather nice. And I actually went out and got on the tractor, cut some grass. What else do we do outside? Oh, Tina was due to go out in the car, and I said, well, I'll take her. The panic buying hasn't really sort of happened in France. Things are getting a bit short on the shelves, but they're not running out of bog roll and stuff like that. But so we decided that, I mean, we've got all the shopping in. I'm going to start burping again. Do excuse my manners. Pardon me. Oh, I bet the microphone picked that up. Yeah, so we've got enough food in to last us till God knows when. And we went and filled the car up today and took a load of fuel cans with us. So we've got plenty of diesel, plenty of petrol. And so we can basically chill out now, and hopefully things will blow over. Don't know how long it's going to take. I won't be going out anywhere. Obviously, Tina will be going out and doing the shopping, but I don't think I shall be going out. I don't want to risk it because we're not quite sure what my immune system's going to be like after recent events. Recent events, so it was 4 years ago now. So yeah, not quite sure. Well, everything's working at the moment inside me torso. But because I had problems with my kidneys and that, I've just been a little bit careful. So I shan't be going out anywhere. Tina will be going out doing the shopping with a hazmat suit on. Not quite as bad as that, but yeah, well, we don't need to go out. Evening all, evening, McNess. Yeah, we're all well here. Some of us are better than others. I'll let you all in on that next week when Tina's been in. Huh? Well, I'm going to do a video on it. So, yeah, we did have a lot of plans for today. I was going to go and do some videoing outside, but although it was glorious sunshine and I was down to my T-shirt on the tractor, it was really windy. So I thought, do you know what? After tomorrow, we've got rain tomorrow. And then we've got about 10 days of good weather. So I thought, well, I'll leave the video in for those 10 good days, because there's bound to be a day that's not going to be as windy. As I say, there's nothing worse than doing a video and all you can hear is bloody wind noise. So, we didn't get any videoing done today. I got a lot of grass cut. And yeah, little old tractor was plodding along nicely. I'm trying to think what else we did today. Oh, I made some piccalilli this morning. I do like a bit of piccalilli on my cheese sandwich. Not that I have sandwiches very often because I'm keeping off the bread. But up until now, we've been getting piccalilli and Branston pickles and stuff like that. Hang on a minute. Oh, pardon me. On the old British corner shop and that kind of thing. But today I thought, well, we had some... what's this? Cauliflower. Hang on. 1, 2. Oh dear. Sound ain't going right tonight. I think that's better. Yeah, we had some cauliflower, so I thought, I'll make a nice piccalilli. And got a nice recipe, and it's bright yellow. And I don't know what she'll shoot me with. I think we've got a water pistol somewhere, haven't we? Yeah, so I made a couple of jars of piccalilli, which it smelt really vinegary, and I thought, I'm not so sure about that. But when I was putting it in the jar, I tasted a bit of the sauce, and it was like, ooh, lovely. Pucker-ding. So 6 to 8 weeks, leave that sealed up for. I've got some other piccalilli in a jar, but I want to get that used up first. So not that we're prepping for end of the world situation or anything like that. It's just we're trying to preserve the food that we grow and stuff like that. So it's all trial and error. I'm going to pickle some garlics tomorrow. Yeah, we do like the old garlic. Better with garlic, as they said in Crocodile Dundee. No, HP sauce is the best, and piccalilli is not pap. Not my piccalilli, anyway. Don't worry, I might be coughing, but I haven't got anything serious. It's just doing too much talking. So that was today. What else did we do today? I don't know. Anyway, we've still not had a look at the Range Rover, the one that broke down. Last video I did was on the... Oh, what was it? The iCar Soft fail. Was it? What was the last video? Oh, updating the iCar Soft. That's all updated. It's all up and running. We have bought a new diagnostic tool, and a biscuit would be nice. Yes, I've had my cup of tea. I have to break out the biscuits. Trouble is, I'm watching my figure, watching it expand. Oh, I've lost track of what I was saying now. Oh, shit for brains or what? Oh yeah, yeah, the iCast. So yeah, we've got a new diagnostic tool now. Tuesday's video will be showing you that. No biscuits. I bought her a biscuit maker for her birthday as well. We've not seen anything from that yet. Oh, dearie me. Come on, Tina, crack on with the biscuits. I don't want a cracker. Oh. I'll buy her all these things for the kitchen. And that's it. Not had any... That biscuit machine that I made her has not even been touched. That would be cruel. Dogs get enough biscuits as it is. But yeah, so the new scan tool, I've got that all up and running on the TDV8. There's just one thing left I've got to do. I'm going to have to drive the car down to the house because I'm doing it on the iPad. I'm not doing it on a phone, so I haven't got internet on the iPad unless I'm in range of the Wi-Fi. And I plug the thing in, connect it up on the iPad, and it finds it, you select it, and then it says it wants to connect to the internet for some reason, so I'm going to have to drive the car down to the outside the house and hopefully get a Wi-Fi signal. I'll get a slim physique over the next few months, Tina, being as we're on lockdown. No, the crack hasn't got any bigger. We filled the crack up with no nails. I thought that would probably do the job. Bit of expanding foam first, and then just filled it up with no nails. That'll hold the house up, won't it? Eh? Yeah, well, expanding foam's good stuff. That's what I'm going to fix the garage with. Well, it's not on hold. We've still got things to do on the garage. I've still got to finish digging the floor out, but I've been doing other jobs with the digger. We dragged a tree out yesterday that was down the bottom of the garden, dragged that out into the field, lit a bonfire underneath it. Tree's still there. It wasn't a big tree, it was like a shrub that got out of hand. Gaffer tape, gorilla tape, yeah. And so yeah, I've used a digger for that. We've got another tree that's gone down over in the woods that's in the neighbour's land, and it's come crashing through our fence. So I really we need to get that done, but I don't know if that's going to happen anytime soon.
Well, it's not desperate. If they get out that far, they're not in the neighbour's garden.
No, the trouble is the dogs get out where the tree's gone down and push the fence down. That's where the dogs get out. They can get out in other spots. It's like Tina's just said, we're not too worried if the dogs get out at the woods because they just tend to go that way. But when they get out down here, we caught them running around the next door's garden yesterday. I thought, we just don't need that headache. Bloody dogs. So yeah, that's that. Let me just give you a sneak preview. Ho, 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 ho. Oh yes. Fan-bloody-tastic. Are people panic buying? Not like the UK. You can still get arse paper.
They are up north and in the big cities.
Up north and in the big cities, the supplies are getting depleted. But up in our... Tina went to our supermarket the other day. She said some of the stock was a bit low, like hand sanitizers and all that kind of thing. Was sort of running out. There was still bread and milk, wasn't there?
Oh yeah, foodstuffs, they were fine. Soaps.
All food stuff was fine. Hadn't run out. Dried pasta was getting a little bit low, and rice. Toilet rolls were getting low.
They're lower than I've ever seen.
They were low. The stock was low for toilet rolls, but nowhere near running out. And you've not got the people going in there fighting with each other, and you know, I must have that little bloody toilet roll. Yeah, Tina has got a pasta machine. We had tagliatelle. Yeah, she made tagliatelle yesterday, and I knocked up a nice carbonara, which was very nice. Oh look, the telly behind me looks like I'm doing some cooking. Ooh, you could check those videos out. They're on the playlist, the Mad Dog Chili Farm, because it looks like I'm cutting up chilies. Yeah, so nothing is really in short supply in France. We are on lockdown. We're on lockdown now?
Well,
A partial lockdown.
yeah, non-essentials have shut.
Non-essentials have shut. Things like hairdressers, bars, restaurants. I think Bricos are shut because I saw a thing that said Leroy Merlin was classed as a non-essential, so it was going to be shut. So I think the Bricos will be as well.
You know, all the big shopping malls, stuff like that, they'll be shut.
Yeah, all like the big shopping malls. We had roast beef as well tonight. Very nice. Nice tender, juicy bit of beef. Yeah, so all non-essential shops are going to have to shut. Bars, restaurants, things like supermarkets, for obviously getting your food and stuff. Tobacs, so they can go out and get their cigarettes.
That's probably because you can't buy them in supermarkets over it.
Well, yeah, because you can't buy cigarettes at supermarkets, you have to get them from a tobacco. So,
Petrol stations.
yeah, fuel stations are open,
And you can still get takeaway food.
I thought it said that McDonald's was shut as well.
Well, it might be, but they are still allowed to do takeaway.
Perhaps they'll do the drive-through, but you got to do it on like one of them grabber tools.
Yeah.
A Fiat garage, I don't know if there is one. Fiat, fix it again tomorrow. Found it at tip.
You're my Fiat garage.
Yes, apparently I'm Tina's Fiat garage. She had the old Panda fired up yesterday because we wanted to get the compressor out of the boiler room and take it up to where we're putting the greenhouse in. And I said, we'll put a strap around it. I'll pick it up with the digger and we'll just swing it into the back of the Panda. No problem. And it didn't quite work out. So I ended up taking the compressor up the top there on the digger. And Tina had to try and get it in the cow shed because between the pair of us, we couldn't lift it in the back of the Panda. But there you go. I don't know. So yeah, we'll be using the compressor to put the ground anchors in for the greenhouse. They corkscrew in 1/2 metre, and then they got like these eyes on top. I just put a bolt through, and that will hold the base down, hopefully. But I was trying to turn them in by hand, and I thought, do you know what? We'll do this with an air gun, and we'll get the compressor up there, and it'll just be a case of and yes. But so that, yeah, I start talking about something and then I just randomly go off on one. That's right. Tina's got the Panda out. Took a bit of starting up. Pulled a starter, pulled a choke, off it goes with a puff of smoke. It was smoking a little bit, but the carburetor's not quite set up right. And the brakes were sticking on. Did you leave it parked with the handbrake off?
Yeah, I did this time.
Yeah, so I said to her, leave it in gear with the handbrake off. And we'll have a look at those. Obviously, the car's been sat there for a few weeks, so yeah. But so that was the Panda. We've not. What was that?
So it looks like the suspension's given up, doesn't it?
Well, it's just the way you've parked it.
Do you reckon?
Yeah. But the TD6, we'd had it parked up for a week. Tina went to start it and it started up actually first time. It probably won't start now. I think it has still got power because you opened the door today, didn't you? Tina opened the door and all the lights came on.
Well, you started it the other day with the diagnostic.
Yeah, that's over a week ago.
No, you did the comparison.
Not on that car, I didn't.
TD6.
No, did it on the new car.
You can find you had the TD6 started up.
Yeah, when I was doing messing around with that iCarsoft, we did. That was over a week ago. Anyway. So yeah, we've not had TD6 going at all. But we are planning, if this weather, after tomorrow's day of rain, if the weather stays nice, it's we're going to get the TD6 round on the concrete. That's right, we've got to strim first because can't get on the concrete because the grass is too long. But yeah, we'll get it all jacked up and have a look at it and try and get it fixed. Oh, dearie me. It's just been all go this week. Well, it hasn't, and it has. When it's been nice weather. Cara's online! Better be careful what I say now then. So, yes. We have an eventful week coming up this week, which I won't tell you too much about. Eh? No, I've got to keep them on tenterhooks, haven't I? But so something exciting is happening. And I'll do a video on it, so you'll have to wait for the video. Try and get this set up here. And clickbait. Yeah. It's not it. Well, it's exciting, but it's not. So that's Tuesday taken care of, and then hopefully the rest of the week we can get outside and start doing some jobs. We've got 4,000 litre water tanks that we've got to get installed somewhere so we can start catching some water. Would have been better if we'd had it a month or two ago and they'd have all been filled up by now. What?
Yes, and the rest.
Oh.
Sorry.
Is that better? You'll have to tell me, is the sound all right tonight? Do you think Snap-on tools are worth the money? Thinking of buying a socket set. Cheers. Snap-on tools, I've got a few. They're good quality, but There are other good quality tools out there. The only reason I've had Snap-on was because the Snap-on van used to come around the garage, and if anything ever broke, we just give it back to him and he would replace it free of charge. That's only on Snap-on stuff. I think the Blue Point stuff didn't have the same guarantee with it. No, I ain't got any tools, especially not in the garage. I've got a hammer and a pair of mole grips and a plastic spanner. Yeah, so Snap-on tools, if you have a van comes round regular, it's probably, I don't know if it, I mean, I've got a set of Sykes Pickavant spanners which are just as good as Snap-on. They've never snapped or broken or anything, and I've had them for donkey's years. But I don't know. What tools are good now and where they're made anymore. But yeah, Snap-on pretty good, and they do replace it. Even down to, I've got a Snap-on ratchet screwdriver with interchangeable ends, and even when the ends break, I used to give them to the Snap-on man, and he'd replace it FOC, free of charge, which is that's a good thing with Snap-on, but you do pay for it. How frauds. Alfords. Yeah. I forgot where I got to now. What was I talking about? Oh, water tanks. Yeah. So if we can get them filled up, that's 4,000 litres of water, which will be very handy at that end for watering the vegetable plot, garden, greenhouse, job, thingy. So that could be a job for I can't fit a lift in the workshop, so it won't be either of those, which is a bit of a bugger. I measured the workshop before we started digging all the floor out and stuff, and I thought it was going to fit. All the measurements, we measured the car, and I thought that would fit in there. There'd be nice loads of room all the way around the sides of it and everything. And before we started digging the floor out, I thought, well, I'll reverse the car in and see if it'll fit. So I reversed the car in. No chance. It just about fits in the garage. The back is almost touching the back wall, and I think the front was just inside the door. So I thought, we'll put it the other way around, sideways on, and put a big door in at the end. So I pulled back out and reversed in so that I could swing round, and even that, it was going to be a tight fit once I've got all my tools in there. So what I'm thinking of doing now is obviously concreting the floor, getting all the workshop kitted out, workbench, all the tools in there and everything, and where the concrete hard standing is outside, extend that out a little bit, and I'm gonna probably just make a drive-on ramp, make it out of steel, so you can drive on and drive up, and it'll be off the floor, which should give me enough room underneath for taking the gearbox out and all that kind of thing, really. And then I can just use a bottle jack to jack up each corner as and when you're working on it. Because at the end of the day, we've always got another mode of transport. If one car packs up, we've always got something else. So there's never any real rush to get anything fixed. Hence the Audi's been sitting out there for over a year, waiting to be fixed. But we'll probably do that, and I'll just work on stuff when the weather's nice. Simple as that. Quick jacks. So I said to Tina, when the garage floor's concrete and that, I mean, certain work on the cars, you know, under the bonnet and that kind of thing, I'll just nose it into the garage and work on it like that. But to have the whole car in the garage, there's just not enough room around the sides of the car. If you know, if all my tools are in there and everything. But there you go. That's just the way it is, and that's that. So. Ooh. I ain't going to sell the Range Rover and drive a Panda. What kind of a person do you think I am? Goodness gracious. No, I think we'll keep the Range Rover and we'll just work round issues, and it's not a problem. We'll just have to work outside. I could build like a bit of a lean-to over the concrete slab to keep the rain off, perhaps. We was going to have a bit of a lean-to around the back of the garage so that we can park the digger and the tractor and the gang mower and stuff like that out of the weather. Because the sun does as much damage to these things as the crap weather. I know the paintwork's not brilliant on most of it, but it's nice to keep stuff under cover. But yeah, so we'll have to play that one by ear. So the most important thing at the minute is to get this greenhouse up, and no, we've already tried that. Which we was gonna knock the garage down and have a new one built, but Tina went up to the mayor to ask about planning permission, and they said, yeah, but even if there's an original building there, if you alter it, you've got to have planning permission. And if you knock it down and rebuild it, you need planning permission. And then there's fees involved. And they said it would probably cost you about €2,000 just for the planning permission. So I said to Tina, let's not bother with that idea. And we'll just make do with the shed, with the garage as it is, and take it from there. Because we have been informed that there's a local snitch that drives about. Not that we do anything wrong or unlawful, but he drives around. He's retired. The nurse was telling us this, and she said he drives around, and if you've got someone working for you, he goes and checks them out, makes sure that they're registered to work, and this, that, and the other. And if you're not, he dobs you in. So yeah, and we've noticed him driving around here as well. Not that we've done anything wrong, but hang on a minute. I've got to move this tripod because I can't see these comments. There we go. That's better. Temporary garage from Polytunnel. Temporary buildings go on a certain size, don't they? Yeah, there's a certain size. If we went, even though it's a temporary building, if we went over a certain size, you still need planning permission. It's not planning permission, but you need permission from the mayoree. So we'll just carry on as we are, get the garage all done, and get power in there, get water in there so I can wash my hands 2 times to happy birthday. Because I ain't sing... Tina sings I love sausage rolls. Stick another one in the oven, baby. What was the other one? Two verses of the national anthem. Well, who knows the second verse of the national anthem? Come on. And I'm not singing the bloody what's it? Marseillaise? Marseillaise. I ain't singing that rubbish.
My Auntie Jill, they're trying to get him to do the Lord's Prayer.
Oh, God. Yeah, no, so... Yeah, what's that all about? People being educated in how to wash your hands. What has this world come into? Oh, dearie me. I blame the parents. I mean, when we was kids, that's all you got told. Come up, sit up for your dinner, wash your hands. I know Mum doesn't sound like that, but... yeah, so... What does not kill you makes you stronger. How many times you got to sing that, though? So, yeah. Keep your hands washed. So, yeah, we'll have water in the garage so I can wash my hands. I'll have a little... physio? Is my physio still coming? He came last week, but he couldn't do a lot because he needs to see the physio. Has he got tendinitis? Again? No. I don't know if Mum and Dad are watching, but my sister's watching. I'll take it that's my sister. It's an old name. Yeah, so physio came on Tuesday. We're going to tell him not to bother coming because he mingles with the general public, and I don't want the general public mingler coming to mingle with me, basically. But we didn't do a lot. He got me sit on the standing frame, and because he come in holding his arm, and he's like, oh, my arm, my arm. And he was going on, and he did look a bit knackered, actually, didn't he?
He often does. He always pops and looks ill.
But yeah, he's very forgetful. He didn't turn up twice in a fortnight. In fact, no, he didn't turn up the first week, and then the second week it was our birthday. So I said to Tina, I think you have to do it in your Google account, Cara. Yeah, so I got on our birthday, I got Tina to phone him up to say I wasn't well. And then, lo and behold, I wasn't well. Talk about, oh, bloody hell. So, don't ever tell anyone that you're not well because it will strike you down. But I know what it was on my birthday. I ate too much crap. What? That's right. We had... what did we have for... Oh, we had loads. We had biscuits for breakfast, poppadoms at lunchtime. I said to Tina, what do you want as a birthday treat? I said, I'll have a bottle of Yop, which is like that one of those yogurt drinks. They're about 2,000 calories in a bottle. So I drank that, and this, that, and the other. So because I've not been eating anything sweet and stuff like that, and I'm trying to really be careful with what we're eating. I think I had a bit of a sugar overload, and I felt as rough as arseholes. So in the afternoon, I came through, got on the armchair in front of the telly box, and I spent a couple of hours asleep, I think. And Tina says, oh, well, I won't cook dinner tonight, then we'll do this. I said, no, I'll be all right. And sure enough, I was right. We had dinner. Yeah, it was a nice birthday. Ate too much. Far too much. And I got another Star Wars toy, which is very nice. I know people might say I'm a bit of a big kid, but there you go. I had some original Star Wars toys when I was a kid. I had the Millennium Falcon, I had the AT-AT walking dog thing. My brother had some bits. He had all the baddies. He had Slave One and TIE Fighter, and I had the goodies. I think they ended up in a jumble sale. probably my own fault. I think Mum says, "Do you still want those toys?" And I said no. So they went. Of course, now you know how valuable they are. So oh, should have kept them. But for Christmas, I got a Millennium Falcon, and for my birthday, I got a Scout Walker. So that was very good. Start the collection again. Whee! They're all in the boxes as well. What did Cara get me? Nothing. But then, what did I get Cara for her birthday? Nothing. I think she said happy birthday, and I probably said happy birthday to her as well. Nobody sang happy birthday, and I didn't even get any candles to blow out. We're going to have to do that this week, Tina.
What?
Get some candles so that I can blow them out.
Why?
Well, because we never had them for her birthday.
I'll just give you an extra couple next year.
Okay.
You didn't want cake?
Hey?
Because you didn't want cake?
Oh, no, we didn't. We wasn't going to have cake. Well, Tina was making a trifle, and the jelly wouldn't set. Don't know why.
Shit, they came out of the packet.
Well, yeah, I know, yeah, but it normally works out of a packet.
No, it was not crystal, it was wrong.
Oh, so, yeah, the trifle was a disaster. I think we've still got the dream topping. Perhaps we could have that with the chocolate sprinkles on top.
Saving that for another time.
Eh?
Saving that for another time.
Oh. So not having it tonight then?
No.
Oh, God. It's like bloody gulag camp here. Oh, what am I making behind? Looks like I'm cooking something. I'm a quick worker. Bloody hell. Look at him go. I don't know what video that is. I'll have a look. Oh, I'm getting all tangled up here. Oh, poppers. Jalapeno poppers. Oh, Tina's in the other room. I keep hearing a pipe up, but I've got my headphones on, and the microphone doesn't seem to be picking her up as well tonight. I'm not sure why. Does this make any difference? Ooh. Yeah, it did. What happened there? I've been playing with all the sound settings and oh dear. Tina, she might have been asleep, but she's not now. So yeah, I don't know what I've done to the sound. I think the sound, you'll have to let me know if the sound's coming through all right. I've not had beans for a while, so we can't blame it on them. Yeah, we got some chilies growing, and the dogs are in the other room. Let me see if I can get Ludo through. Ludo! Come here, mate. Come here. Up. Come on, you knob. Oh. Look at the telly. Who's that up there? Wave. Who's that? Speak into the microphone. Oh, you're a pillock. Where are you going? That was one of the dogs. He's obviously camera shy tonight. He's a plonker. They keep getting out, little sods. They got out again tonight over in the woods. They keep coming back with bones of some animals. So we're not quite sure where they're coming from. But yeah, they do come back, so that's all good stuff. caught them running around next door neighbour's garden the other day. Oh, dearie me. It's all we bloody need. Because they've got a little puppy next door. But I've never seen it outside. In fact, the kids weren't outside today either. There's some proper hermits next door. We very rarely see them out in the garden. We think they're probably townies. Got about an acre of garden, and well, they got a tractor, but I think he's used it once, and she was cutting the grass with a push mower. No, we haven't got a wildlife camera. Probably ought to get one, really. Stick it in the woods. I know Mum and Dad have got one. They'd get some good footage with theirs. Yeah, but we do have a lot of wildlife in there because you can see where the animals push away under the fence, and they've got like little trails where they walk across. So we might have to get one of those, actually, a wildlife camera. I probably had enough for my birthday. Oh, yeah, I see what you're saying. Get Cara to buy one. So, has everybody got plenty of bog roll? Don't know what it's like in the UK. We only see what we see on the news. We got plenty. How much are they? I'm not sure how much they are, to be honest.
€5 for 12.
No, the wildlife camera. Oh, Tina's got the wrong end of the stick. €5 for 12. Oh, I don't know. I think when I was looking at them, when Dad was going to get one, you can get a good one for about 40 quid, I think. 40, 50 quid. Or was it even more than that? I'm not sure. But yeah, we'll probably get one at some point. It'd be interesting to see what we got going through the woods of a night time. Probably won't want to see what goes through the woods, as long as they're not pinching the mushrooms. Don't want people pinching mushrooms. Was it last year that bloke was walking up the track?
Yeah.
Tina was over there with the dogs, and a bloke was walking. There's like a farm track which goes round the outside of our property. I don't think it's a public footpath because it doesn't go anywhere. And he come walking up, and he was like looking in the garden, and he said to Tina, he said, what did he say? Is it private property?
Well, the dogs were going nuts, and he said, "I take it it's not allowed."
The dogs were really barking at him and that, and he said, "I'll take it it's not allowed then." And he was obviously coming after the bloody mushrooms. No, mate, it's not allowed. Good thing about having dogs that bark a lot. They wouldn't do anything. If you stepped over the fence, they'd come and sniff you, and then bloody... That's it, shut up. Because they're bloody useless. No, he spoke French. I'd like to see you getting your priorities right, Cara. Let's get some muffins. Oh, it's all pretty calm over here. No, Tina went shopping the other day and nothing to report, really. She got everything that she wanted, and including a pack of bog roll. It's weird, isn't it? The things that people think they need. The end of the world is coming, and You know, so let's think about something that you really don't need to survive. Because there's plenty of other things you can wipe your ass on. But you can't eat toilet paper. It's like when the snow used to come. The shops would sell out with bread and milk. Chocolate fudge. Oh, lovely jubbly. Can't get painkillers. Oh, that ain't very good. Cara.
Tell her not to have any anti-inflammatories
Why is that?
because they aggravate the disease.
Oh, Tina says don't take any anti-inflammatories because they aggravate the disease. She knows all about this stuff. I really couldn't give a monkeys.
Because I've been watching the news.
Yeah, she watches the news and I already can't. You go on Facebook, oh, blah, 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 coronavirus. Blah. Go on Twitter, same old, same old. Even on YouTube now. I'm not going to do a video about it because it's happening, that's it. And YouTube are demonetising a lot of channels for mentioning it. So what will be will be. People just need to be careful. Wash your hands 2 times happy birthday. That'll save the world, according to Bojo.
I only know what's happening, and we only got prepared in January because I watched the news.
Yes, we are prepared. Very prepared. Even if... Say that we don't have... this is... end of the world type scenario. We don't have a well, so water would be a bit of an issue. We're not going to store enough fuel to keep the generator going for an indefinite period. And at the moment, I was actually looking at solar and wind for powering some bits and pieces in the house. I'm not sure how possible it's going to be, but I'm not going to be rushing out to do it now because it's not going to be end of the world type thing. If people just do what they're told, don't go out and mingle with everybody else and just keep yourselves to yourselves, keep yourselves clean, and it should all go. But when this is all done and dusted, it's things we want to look at doing for renewable energy. If we can have a windmill set out there that's going to be generating a bit of electric and some solar panels. Did you know, Tina, that you need planning permission to have solar panels in your garden? But
Over a certain size, isn't it?
no,
Any?
yeah, but if you have them on the roof, you don't need it.
No, I suppose it takes up land space, doesn't it?
Yeah, somebody was, yeah. If you have solar panels on a stand out in the garden, out in the field or whatever, apparently you need planning permission for that. But if you put them up on the roof, you don't. Yeah, I know, but come on. What is wrong with these people? But anyway, that's something we might have a bit of a look into in the future. You can't... we obviously use a lot of power with the ovens and the hot water tank. The kettle, 3,000 kilowatts. No, 3 kilowatts. 3,000 kilowatts. 3,000 watts. Yeah, flower mower video. Flower mower is kaput. Now, I was going to... I'll get back to the flower mower in a minute. What was we talking about? Yeah. So, yeah, certain things... But I don't know. We'll have to work out how much power we use. And I don't like the boiler. If we could get that to run on... Because obviously with solar and wind, we'd have to have batteries. And then an inverter. And all the bits and pieces. It's like the boiler. I don't know if that would run on. If it would do enough for that. I'm not sure what draw that is. But things like the ovens and that will probably be too much. kilowatts. Because I think my oven's 3.4, which I really don't know how much wattage you can get out of these batteries. Obviously, the solar and that wind puts power in, but it's something to look into later on. See if it's worth it as a, ground source heat pump. If it was a new build, or if we had to put heating in, probably consider it. But because the heating system is already in the house and it works well, we'll probably leave it as it is. But say if we didn't have heating in here, or we was doing a new build or something like that, we'd probably look into alternative things like that. But it's just bleeding rigmarole, isn't it? Ripping it all out to put something else in. But oil's not. I suppose the oil's not too expensive, and now we've got the boiler running on a thermostat, because it didn't have. Tina was having to go out there turning it down, turning it up, backwards and forwards. Now we've got a little remote thing. Dad's wired it in for us, and we can set the temperature in the house, and it cuts in and out as and when. And we are saving a hell of a lot of oil because of that. So really, it's quite cheap to run. But yeah, right, flower mower. The engine is kaput on the flower. It still works, but it's absolutely piddling oil out. And I've been looking at engines for the flower mower, because it's a Chinese pile of crap, which obviously left the factory with no quality control whatsoever. The first hour and a half of using it, it fell apart. So it's been a constant battle, basically. The last time we fixed it, we put parts on it and we thread locked it, and it was all staying together, and it was like doing really well. And I went down there with it, turned around, and I see all this blue smoke, and I thought, oh shit, what's that? So I come up to the house and I said to Tina, where's that blue smoke coming from? And she couldn't see anything. So I thought, perhaps it was the car, because obviously the car hadn't been running for a long time. Thank you very much.
You're welcome.
Oh, no biscuits.
There's your imaginary plate of biscuits.
Oh. Apparently I've got to imagine biscuits.
That's it for your waistline.
Yeah. So yeah, it might have been the car that was smoking. Anyway, so I carried on, cut all the grass, and then as I went to park the flower mower back up over there, Tina unhooked it, and I just pulled forward and reversed up, and I looked at the thing, and there was like all oil running down the front of the bloody thing. The oil, both the oil bung things are well in, so it's not leaking from those. So I think the crankcase has cracked. Oh, bloody pile of crap. So it's a cheap Chinese copy of a Honda GX390. We had the Honda engine on our old wood chipper, which is 13 horsepower. Absolutely fantastic engine on the chipper. But on this Chinese thing, I think I've got a feeling I read somewhere when we bought the thing in the bump, in the advertisement thing, it said that the engine was made under license. So it is a proper Honda copy, but it is such a pile of pup. So I was looking on eBay at Honda GX390 engines, knowing that they was really good, but they're like 800 quid, 6, 7, 800, and then you've got to get it shipped. So, but then up pops a GX390 alternative, which was made by Lifan. And I've heard a lot of good things about Lifan engines. In fact, I think there might be Lifan engines that are on our whacker plates. Plates. Two of. And this particular engine says it replaces the cheap Chinese knockoffs, which are built to poor standards. And it's got all reinforced crankcase. The fuel tank is on suspension rubbers, and it's basically built as a heavy duty engine, with the fact that it replaces cheap Chinese crappy ones. I think Lifehand's probably Chinese. I don't know where Lifehand comes from, but so that is the plan. And I can pick one of them up for £300. Not sure about shipping. I did ask them a quote on shipping, but they never got back to me on that one. So we'll probably be going down that route with that flower mower and get it up and running again. So I was cutting the grass with the tractor today, but that's a finishing mower. And if a couple of the patches of grass was so long, it nearly stalled the tractor. I had to crank the revs up and... So, see you soon. Just taking the dogs out. She'll come back in a minute moaning that they've got out again. And, so we will get the flower mower up and running again, because it is good for like long grass. And when we let the grass grow, obviously, because we get all the wildflowers in it, so we let it grow as like a Lifehand made in China. I do think that they might have better quality control. Only from going on the reviews that I've read about Lifehand engines, people say how fantastic they are. But so that's probably the plan for that. We'll get that up and running. Talking of wildflowers, I dug a trench, not a trench, but between the two oak trees, we've got the big oak tree out here, and we planted a little one down the bottom, but I'm not sure if that's growing at all. The branches haven't gone brittle or anything, so it might come into leaf again. So between the two, I've gone down with the digger, had the wide bucket on, just scraped the grass off, dug a scoop out, dropped it back in, and I bought her a load of... hang on a minute. Pardon me. Bought Tina a load of wildflower seeds. So what she's going to do is mix them all up in a bucket and spread them all in that trench bit that I've dug. And then hopefully they won't have a lot of competition, because I've scraped all the grass off. They'll flower and hopefully self-seed, and they can spread across the field quite nicely. Because we do like the old flowers, flowery meadows. I think if she made muffins, there won't be any left in that household. But yeah, so that's another job actually. Probably get that done when the next bit of nice weather's here. I've got a few little jobs to do outside actually. I'll do a few videos as well. They won't get viewed very well or very much because they're not car videos, but oh look. Oh yeah, fighter. It's a bit hot. So yeah, we've got some. The Fred lock worked, yeah. We've got Range Rover behind us now. Me with a dodgy hat on. Yeah, since the last set of repairs we did on the flower mower, the Fred lock's done a good job. Nothing's fallen off it, touch wood. But no, it's just the engine's gone kaput. So yeah, a few of the jobs we've got to do is plant some potatoes. We've got 2 trays of potatoes chitting in the hallway here. One variety is chitting a lot more than the others, but we're going to grow some in the ground. Can I speak French fluently? No. Tina can, but I'm crap. This will be my 11th year in France, and whatever happens, it just doesn't stick. I think I've got a mental block for learning French. When Tina's speaking French to someone, I know exactly what the pair of them are saying. It's the same one as with Dad, and we was working and that. He would be waffling on to the customer, and I knew what they were saying, and I know what Dad was saying. And then they turn around and say, ask me a question, and I know what the question was, but my mind would go blank. Dad's on! Hey! Plant them the right way up. Don the tu encore. There you go. Look that one up on Google. Dans le tu encore. Lottie should remember that one as well. So you've got two varieties of potatoes. I bought them from Amazon.de. I was looking at them on eBay, but they wanted like 10 quid to post off. Oh, I'm not paying that. £10 postage for some bloody potatoes. But I looked on Amazon.de, and there's a couple of varieties. I can't remember what they're called. But one of them has got like really rave reviews that they're absolutely fantastic potatoes, and you get really good harvest of them. I don't know what they are, but we've got two lots, and they're chitting nicely. So we're going to stick some in the ground, and then we're going to stick some in dustbins. And I was going to do a video on it, but it was too windy today, and I thought, you know what, I can't be bothered getting all the camera out there, and it's going to be blowing and this, that, and the other. So we didn't do any videoing today, but I cut the grass instead. And made some piccalilli. So yeah, we've got 3 vegetable plots dug out. The first one that's full of garlic at the minute. There's a bit of room at the end, and I think we're going to stick some onions in it, because in the other room under the grow lights we've got some Red Baron onions, which are obviously red onions, and a load of spring onions. So I don't know when we can plant all that stuff out, because we had a frost again this morning. So but the garlic likes frost, and all the garlic has sprouted up, even the elephant garlic. We've got 10 elephant garlic bulbs at one end, and then we've got about 40 ordinary garlics in the other side, and they've all shot up. But I don't want to stick anything else in the ground if we've got a bit of a chance of frost. Yeah. Fluctuating. Yeah, I think the most viewers I've ever had on a live stream was about 19. But I think that might have been the first one that did, and it's dwindled down since then. Well, I remember, Dad just said he got caught out in May a few years ago. We had snow in May over at your old house. Yeah. Wasn't a lot of snow, but we did get some snow. But that was up in the hills. Hicks on the hills. So, yeah, maybe leave it till the end of the month and see if we're going to get any more frosts, because they've all shot up lovely in the other room under the grow light. I think the cabbages and the Brussels need to go somewhere, because they're not looking very they're sort of not wilting, but whether it's because they're not getting enough water, I don't know. I did give them a good soaking this afternoon. The chilies, we've had all the chilies was coming up, And then they just seem to have flipped over and died. We've got a couple in there that are looking really strong. These are all like super hots. So we've got the Morawga Scorpions, the Carolina Reapers, Chocolate Butts, Trinidad Scorpion. The Fatalis didn't come up, and the Red Boot Jalokias didn't come up. And so I don't know what's going on with those, but what I'm probably going to do is pop them onto bigger pots and see if we can sort of salvage them a little bit. Perhaps they don't like the compost. I don't know. I can't remember what compost I used last time, but nearly all the chilies came up last time, and I had about 50 growing in underneath the grow light in the dining room. No, it was more than that because we had about 80 plants. The greenhouse was full and the polytunnel was full. But we're not really set up. We just sort of bodged something up so we can grow some stuff in the other room. Say the greenhouse, we haven't done that yet. But not that I would do the wouldn't start the chilies off in the... No, we didn't use seed compost, and I didn't even sieve it this time. I think last time I used ordinary compost, I sieved it, and I mixed it with crushed eggshells. And they all did really well. But having said that, these seeds might not be the best, because I ordered these seeds in 2000 and... Oh, what year did we do all the chilies? We're in 2020 now. We didn't do any last year. We didn't do any... We did some the year before, so 2018. So yeah, those seeds I ordered in 2018. So they've been sat in the car ever since. They was in the glove box. So the seeds might not be ever so good. But yeah, so we'll I'll pot these on and see if we can salvage any. And I've got a lot of jalapenos, which are not ever so hot, but you can do a lot with them. Stuffed jalapenos, jalapeno poppers. You can make sauces and stuff out of it. Oh, I did fix your car. That was a job in itself. Mum and Dad got a new car. Drove it back to France. 1,000 miles later, bang! Coil spring went and it sat down on the bloody floor and he couldn't drive it anywhere. So I said, well, we'll pop over and have a look. So we went over and I had some spring clamps. I did cut his grass, but I used his mower. Yeah, so we was doing this suspension on his front of his car. He ordered all the parts. Got, I think, Monroe front shock absorbers and new springs and all the fitting kit with like the squashy up thing inside it and that. And I started to do it with my spring clamps, and because the old one was broken, it came off easy. But the new springs was like so long, and they had a bend to them. They were curved. So as we was squashing them up, they was under so much pressure, and I thought the bloody spring compressor's going to give way here. So we decided to give that up as a bad job. Dad ordered some new spring compressors. So I think we was compressing each spring with 4 spring compressors, and even that didn't feel very safe. But we got the job done. And that was all while I was in the wheelchair. But you just get down on the floor and do it, don't you? So... It's like I always say, it takes me half as long to do something on a car as it would do Dad. But then when Dad comes over and does jobs on this place, it takes him a quarter of the time it would take me and Tina to do it. Compressed and mole grips. Yeah. Oh no, I've just let the cat out of the bag then, haven't I? It was hot that day, yeah. It was absolute Scotchio. I do remember. It was nice today as well. A bit blowy. But I was down to my t-shirt when I was cutting the grass. But, poor old mower, it was getting, the tractor was going down that bit there, just down past the oak tree. The grass was getting quite long. And it did struggle a little bit. But it's all cut nice now. What time are we on here? Oh, 9:20. I've been on for an hour and 15 minutes. You can get all your Ben's Garage merchandise over at bensgarage.org. No ice cubes. I don't know if we did have any ice cream that day, or ice lolly. You used to get those Magnum things, didn't you? Not Magnums, but they're same as. Cheap version out of Aldi's or Lidl's. Oh, bloody hell. So that's that. We've got a lot of seeds this year, and we've got that many seeds. I don't even know what we have got now. They're in a box in the other room, but obviously we'll do those straight into the ground, most of them, and we're just looking at ways to preserve your food, because there's nothing worse than growing food and it goes off before you can eat it. You could stagger your planting. I suppose with potatoes, it's probably best to leave them in the ground as long as you can. But I don't think you want to leave them in the ground if you're getting frost at the other end of the year. But yeah. Well, we'd put them in the cellar, but they'd probably get eaten by something in the cellar. That's another job we've got to do. Get some racking down in the cellar, because the cupboards are a bit full. I bought Tina some containers. Pardon me. Oh, how uncouth. Bought Tina some containers, like food storage containers, and for fermenting and all that kind of thing. They're quite big. Were they 20 litres? I can't remember. Anyway, they're all full up now. All the cupboards are full. But, yeah, there's not really much of a... it's organised chaos, I think you could call it, in our cellar. So it'd be nice to get some racking up and store some stuff. Yeast. Ah, yeah, yeast. At least it wasn't an empty. It's Tina, she put extra bubbles in my cup of tea. She's got a good habit of doing that. Pick all the stuff. Well, I do. Pick a lily. That tasted... I tried a bit of the veg to make sure it was cooked and crunchy, because I still want it to be crunchy. I don't want it to be all soft and soggy. So I tried a little bit of that. And then as I was jarring it up, I tried the sauce. Because as I said earlier, it smelled really vinegary. And Tina went, oh, that smells a bit vinegary. And I tasted it. And it was absolutely gorgeous. Brung up proper. I might be coughing, but it's not the dreaded. It's just through too much talking, I think. Oh, well, it looks like we're cooking again on behind me. Hang on, let's see what we're cooking. Ah, that video behind me. The video playing on at the moment. Do I have a temperature? I do in this room because it's bloody hot. No, I don't have a temperature. I'll get Tina to bring the thing for in a minute and check my temperature. They point it at your head, don't they? That video behind me playing is, I think I called that sauce Dancing Dragon chili sauce, which went down quite well with people that tried it. I didn't sell many. Oh dear. Apple cider vinegar. We have got some apple cider vinegar, but I want to save that for cooking. It's a bit harsh to drink. How does she drink that? Oh. Yeah, I'll run a diagnostics. I'll try this one instead. Where do you suggest I plug it? Clean answers. Tina, yeah. Can you bring the laser thermometer in, please? We'll check my temperature. I might be self-isolating. Put myself into quarantine.
I thought you weren't going to talk about all that.
No, well. What do I do? I just pull the trigger, don't I?
I don't know.
Well, that speaker is 21 degrees. So I want to do this without blinding myself. Oh. Hang on, I need to do that again. 32 degrees. Is that normal, Tina?
36, isn't it?
What, body temperature?
Yeah, that's when you got a fever. Anything above.
32 is normal though, isn't it?
Yeah.
I'll try it again. Oh, that was 34 that time.
You can be there all night.
I'll try it now. $35 in my gob. Hang on, let me try my ears. $35. 36.9. Let's try my hand.
37 is a fever.
My hand is 36.1.
I think you're safe.
Just seeing what the computer is. Well, down there it's 27.5. On the screen it's 37. Do you really need to know the answer to that? Yeah, it's a good bit of kit, that. I bought that so it can check the drafts on the windows. See where the cold spots are. But since Tina's put all the stuff up in the loft, it's quite warm in this house now. In fact, very warm. I don't know what the heating's set to. Oh, God. Oh, dear. What you got the heating set to?
20.
She got it set to 20 degrees Celsius. Being as we're in a metric country. Hey?
I'll be turning it down now, ready for bed.
Yeah, I should turn it down now so it's nice and cool for bedtime. Can't be doing with it being hot when you're in bed. Oh, dear. Too much, too much. Yeah, so I haven't got a well, I have got a temperature, but it's a normal sort of temperature. So nothing to see here. Move along. Thank you very much. So, yes. I mean, I've isolated myself because I don't go out. Apart from today, I drove Tina to the... do I suffer from the heat? Well, funny you should say that. Last year, I suffered from the heat big time. Absolutely mental. To the point I was going dizzy, throwing up. It was awful. The year before, absolutely not a problem at all. You know, since surgery and all that lot. But the only thing different between last year and the year before was the doctor put me on some different pills. So we've got to see the doctor, which is coming out at some point, but we'll mention it to her. I did say to the doctor last time that told him what was happening, and he said, "Oh no, it won't be the pills that do that." But he said it's dehydration and because you're a fat bastard. Oh, thank you very much. He didn't say that. He says overweight. I don't know what's happening, but I can't seem to lose weight. I know I've not been doing the exercise as much as I should, but we'll remedy that. But I've cut right back on food. We don't have snacks, don't have nothing like that. I've tried to keep off the bread as much as possible. But I did read on Dr. Google, which you probably shouldn't do too much, that the heart pills that I'm on, atenolol, which are basically beta blockers, can make you put on weight. Whether that's because these pills slow your heart rate down, so you can't get your heart pumping. And when I get on the exercise bike, my heart rate only goes just over 100, and before I could get it up to about 140, 150. Whether that's got something to do with it, I do not know. Do I play football? I didn't play football when I could walk, let alone in bloody wheelchair. Bloody football. I never have liked football. In fact, I've never really liked any sports. It's too much like hard work, isn't it? I used to like what do they call it? Oh shit. Got real shit for brains tonight. It'll come to me. What do they call it when you're jumping about and throwing things? No, at school. No. You do it in the summer. You do football and hockey and that in the winter. Athletics. Tiddlywinks. No, I was athletics. I couldn't get it out of my brain, off the end of my tongue. That was all right because we used to drag the crash mats for the high jump all the way to the end of the field and just doss about on them for the lesson. I used to like the long jump and the triple jump, because we used to play around in the sand. I remember javelin at school. A girl got hit in the head by a javelin. I don't know how it happened, but anyway, it hit her head, about inside of her head, and it bounced back out again. So it didn't go right in. Sort of just twatted her and fell off. And ever since then, we nicknamed her Hang Glider. Whee! Kids, they're so cruel, aren't they? We didn't do many things like that at school. In the science lab, you have sinks all the way around the science lab with the Bunsen burners and the taps and that. And Dwayne's on as well. Christ, it's a bit of a family affair tonight. Yeah, there's in the science lab there was one particular desk that had a really dodgy tap. You would turn it on and nothing would happen. You turn it on a bit more, turn it on, and then all of a sudden, whoosh! It used to come out and spray everything. Anyway, there was this girl in the class. and she was a deaf girl. Not that that's got anything to do with it, because we would have done it to anyone else. But she was at this particular thing, and we turned the tap upside down. So we were messing, and she turned the tap. nothing. Turned it on, straight up. And those polystyrene ceiling tiles that push up, it knocked that clean up into the roof. And then she turned it off, and then for some reason she tried it again. And she did it 3 times, absolutely soaked, top to bottom she was. And we couldn't contain our laughter any longer. I think we did get told off for it, but nobody had owned up to doing it. So we blamed it on the class before. But used to do some silly things in the science lab. Like trying to... Where you had the Bunsen burner taps... I don't suppose they've got them anymore, because it's all be health and safety, and we can't let our little darlings play with dangerous things like that. We used to push the rubber hose onto the tap. We used to try lighting it at the tap end and get a flame shoot out across the classroom. I don't know, we didn't blow the school up, to be honest. Oh dear. And then there's that time that I threw something through the greenhouse. It was strange, that was, because they said, oh, you're going to have to go and tell the headmaster that you've smashed the greenhouse window. And what I was doing, I had this thing, and I just flicked it on the floor, trying to get it to stick in the floor. Well, the twatting thing, it bounced, went straight through the greenhouse window. So I had to go and tell the headmaster that I'd smashed a window. And he didn't really say a lot. But the one time I did smash, it's getting a bit of a theme, isn't it? We smashed the... at the end of the corridor that ran down the middle of the school, right at the end, there's 2 big glass doors. And me and this other lad was... oh no, I think I've told all these stories. Christ, it was 20 odd plus years ago now. Yeah, some of the stories he's got. But, anyway, we was helping out, moving tables on our dinner break. Got down to the end of the corridor, and we said to someone, "Can you just hold that door?" And they said, "No, piss off, we're not holding that door." And of course, so we tried getting it through the door, and the wind caught the door, blew it shut, and it smashed the door on the corner of the table. Oh, here we go. Right, go and tell the headmaster. So, goes and tells the headmaster. And he says, well, you're going to have to pay towards the insurance or whatever. And he said it's going to be about £2.50 each. And I sort of looked at him. Anyway, the next day, the other lad brought £2.50 in. Of course, I went home and told Mum and Dad that what had happened, and they says, well, you ain't taking £2.50 in, and it was you was helping out. It was an accident. The school's insured for that. So I went back in, and he collared me on the way out of assembly. He said, where's that £2.50? I says, well, told Mum and Dad you're not getting it. Right, okay, stand outside my office. Oh, here we go. So I think he actually sent a letter home, I don't know. And either Mum or Dad read the letter and said, well, if he thinks he's getting £2.50, he could shove that up his arse. So, of course, next time he collars me, says, well, Mum and Dad says you can shove it up your arse. And that was it. I was on report then for the next probably 2 years. Bloody knobhead he was. Didn't like school. Don't even know how we got onto that now. Oh well. It's not anything nasty, this cough, honest. So tomorrow we are due for rain. So I've got a few little jobs to do indoors. I'm going to pickle some garlic. Never pickled garlic before. My favourite subject at school was trying to get out of lessons. Which was quite easy towards the end because my form teacher happened to be my dad's mate, and he lived just up the road from us. So we could get out of most assemblies. Trouble with church schools, go to assembly, sing a load of shitty songs, and every Thursday the vicar would come in and wave his hands about, and oh Jesus. So there was one day a week where you had to go to assembly, even the teachers had to go to assembly, but every other day of the week we used to skive that off so we didn't have to do all that singing shit. And then because towards the end of the school, it was like last year or so, a lot of it was coursework. You know, a lot of the lessons that I'd had, so the coursework was all pretty much done. So it was just any excuse to skive off. So because I used to do. We had two outside. We had like the greenhouse, and then over the other bit we had like a vegetable plot. I never got involved with the vegetable plot bit because that was as cold as hell in the winter. I used me noggin to the greenhouse. So I used to skive off a lot of that, especially because we used to grow the like bedding plants and stuff and flog them. So when it got, when it was getting near time and there was a lot to do on that kind of thing, I used to skive out lessons doing that. Did I have any favourite teachers? Not really. Couldn't stand the headmaster. He was a twat. Yeah, Chris Chapman was alright. Dad's mate. He was a bit of a strange one. He used to come walking into assembly rubbing his arse. Of course, everyone, hey, bloody puffed her. And, well, of course, I knew he wasn't, because obviously we knew, obviously he was married. Well, he might have been. Doesn't matter if you're married, does it? Anyway, no, he was alright. There was a couple of other teachers that were alright. Like the, what did they call it? CDT, craft design technology, and then they changed it to design technology and this, that and the other. Just made up bleeding names. That teacher was alright, because we had to, at the time, we had a Rover garage next door to the school, and they were sponsoring a project countrywide in schools where they provided, obviously sponsoring it, they paid for most of it, the Rover garages and that, and they provide you with like a little go-kart, and it had like a little Honda engine on the back. And the different years got involved with the go-kart project. So the year before us, it was all done in stages. So it was just a plain go-kart, 2 pedals, accelerator, brake, and so the year before us, when they was on the go-kart, they had to design and build a charging system. So they got this alternator on it and everything, and a little battery and little voltage gauge thing. So when it was our year, we, all got into... Yes. Oh, shit, what was I saying? Oh, Jesus Christ. Oh, yeah, the go-kart. Anyway, when it was our year, we all got in, there's only about 4 of us got involved with it, and we had to design and fit some headlights and working rear lights. They were donated. They was off a Rover Metro, so we had to make all the surrounds and everything, get them all fixed on, and then we went away at exhibitions and this, that and the other. So it was quite a good thing. So that was quite a good lesson. Memorable school reports. All my school reports were saying could have done better. I think when I first started school, my reports, I was getting A's and everything. Top of the class, top of the year. it soon dwindled down. Probably, I think I was in the bottom group in maths by the time I'd left school. But that was just too much pissing about. Not wanting to be at school. That speaker's 22 degrees. What about the time you was going to the gym and Chris pulled over in a dodgy lay-by? Yeah. Bet you thought your luck was in that night. Yeah, Dad and Chris used to go to the gym. Place near Skegness, Southview it was called. It was just been opened up. Big caravan park and a leisure centre. They had a swimming pool. They had a gym upstairs, a swimming pool and a sauna. No, not a sauna, a jacuzzi. So I used to go in the gym. Can't remember which way because I went with them a few times. Used to go in the gym, have a swim, sit in the jacuzzi, then go in the bar, order a basket of chips and a pint. So all that work that was done in the gym and the swim was all undone in the bar. But it was a good social evening. Yes. Chris was also the drummer in the band. Dad played guitar. Chris played drums. I played bass. And we used to practice. We used to have band practice in Chris's garage. Of course, I used to get home from work, have my tea, have a quick bath, because we didn't have a shower at the time. Quickly get all our gear together. Well, to start with, they had a bass player, but he was only ever playing one song, which was Iron Man, I think, and singing through a voice-changing microphone. So, not tonight. Dad said I'd never played a guitar before in my life, and Dad says, "Oh, come along and play bass." He said, "Chris has got a bass guitar down there." So I'd never played it before. So anyway, he produces this acoustic guitar with 3 strings on it, and he showed me a few notes, and I always remember what. So it was "Man on the Moon" by REM. So I went down there, and Chris says, "Well," he said, "I've got a bass guitar with a practice amp." He says, "You can have that." And so we used to go for band practice. I'd have the little practice amp and a hi-fi stereo. We used to plug in and play through that. That's right. I used to take them down in the wheelbarrow, and Dad would carry the guitars in his hand because he's only just down the road. And of course, I've just got out of the bath, so my hair was still wet. So we were in his garage, standing under a light bulb. There was steam coming off the top of my head because the light bulb was so close. Playing in gloves because it was so bloody cold. We should have played in his bloody conservatory, really. It was big enough. Oh, yes, those were the days. Until we had complaints and the police came round. It's hotter at the top of the screen than it is at the bottom. Just thought you'd like to know that. So yeah, I had some good old gigs with Loose Change. That was the name, Loose Change. That's what we used to get paid as well. Played in some right rare old places. Played in a social club in Lincoln. I think the average age was about 85. We was getting set up. A bloke come up and he says, "Oh, you can't put that there. Committee will not have that." bloody committee, who's only, I think it was Biker AD, was setting up the mixing desk. Well, you can't put that there. Committee will not have that. Sod the bloody committee. Well, you can play for 15 minutes, then we're going to stop and play bingo. Then you can play for 15 minutes and we'll stop and have a raffle. Oh, Jesus Christ. Shops are all still open and they're all still full. We did go out today, actually, when the shops were shut because we wanted to go to get some fuel in the car and fill up a load of fuel cans. Not for any reason, because the car's filled up. That'll do 800 kilometres now. We've got another 60 litres of diesel. And we got about 30 litres of petrol, wasn't it? Yeah, about 30 litres of petrol. We've obviously got the diesel. If there is any shortages, we know we can still get out. But it's something that we're going to use, even if we don't need to. So if it sits out there and this all blows over, then we've got 60 litres of diesel to put in the tractor and the digger. And as for the petrol, wow. Hey? Well, yeah, we've got the Panda. That's petrol. Well, I think that's still full up, isn't it? All right. Panda's got about half a tank in it. But then we've got all the tools. Chainsaws, trimmers, hedge trimmers. Not that gets a lot of use anymore. But we got a generator coming. Should be here next week, actually. We've not bought it just for doomsday prepping. Basically, we've got it because we want to run some electric stuff up in the garden, and keep running extension leads at about 100 metres. It's getting ridiculous. So we'll get a generator, and then if we do ever have any power outs and stuff like that, then we've got a bit of backup just in cases. It wasn't a very expensive generator, but it puts out 3.2 kilowatts, I think. But when you're buying a generator, it's a bit deceiving because they tell you that it's rated for this and it's rated for that, and then when you actually read the specs, you only get tells you what comes out of one socket, and they add it all up. But we should be all right with this one. It's enough to power fridges and freezers and stuff like that if we ever needed to. Can't see it coming to that, but yes. Well, don't know. Hopefully, it's all cleared up by May. But if people do as they're told, I think it probably will be. I think in Italy, when they put Italy into lockdown, there was a lot of people being defiant and not doing as they're told and still going out and mingling. And then was it Ireland? In the pub yesterday, yeah. Have the pubs been told to shut? From tonight. Oh, it's tonight, is it? They want to stop St Patrick's Day. Yeah. Like there was something on the internet the other day. Ireland, they're stopping pubs and stuff because obviously they don't want people going out on St Patrick's Day, which is not tomorrow, the day after. And there was a clip on there of all the Irish getting pissed up in the bar. Well, I just don't think I'd risk it, to be honest. Well, yeah. France has gone into lockdown as of was that Gilets jaunes after the lockdown, or Gilets jaunes was after no more than 500 people. Yeah, France said no more gatherings larger than 500 people, and the Gilets jaunes was still out protesting, and there were thousands of them. and Tina was reading about it, and it's basically there's something in the Constitution that people have still got the right to protest. I don't know what's wrong with some people. They're as thick as shit, really are. You know, it's an invisible thing. You can't see it. You don't know who's got it. So let's go and mingle with 10,000 people in the streets of Paris and spread it around a bit more. But, well, we've got plenty of bog roll, so, and you're not having any. I'll send you a couple of sheets in the post. 50p a sheet. It's fair, isn't it?
How much you say?
50p a sheet.
Ooh, that's a bit light, that is.
Oh, £1 a sheet then.
Yeah.
So yes, but failing that, you've got a hand, haven't you? Wipe your ass with your hand. I was saying the other day that we don't think the French are too concerned about bog roll because it's a nation of bidet people, isn't it? You know, most French bathrooms have got a bidet next to the toilet, so you finish having a crap, hop over onto the bidet, bish bash bosh, wahee, and then you only need a towel to dry yourself off, don't you? Yeah. Well, at least you're regular. 1 sheet a day. Just 1 sheet there. You've got to be careful your finger don't go through. Yeah, there's plenty of alternatives. Dock leaves. Just do what dogs do. They just drag their ass along the floor, don't they? They go outside and scrape their ass along the grass. Do you spray or rim? You've lost me on that one. Do you spray or rim? Perhaps because I'm not down with the kids. I don't know all these. It probably something as clear as mud, but there you go. So yeah, we're all fine. Tina's going to go up to the doctor's tomorrow because the doctor said she'd do me a repeat prescription without coming out. Rim is the setting for water coming out of the rim. Like a bog.
Is he talking about the bidets?
Well, I did say about bidets, yeah. Well, they must be posh bidets then. Because the bidet we had, we just had 2 taps on it, didn't it? Yeah, we just had 2 taps on our bidet. We haven't got one anymore. We had it taken out. Oh, not our bidets. Just got like 2 taps on them. God, you must have posh toilet bidet systems over there. No, not that advanced. Bloody hell. Obviously, you fill it up with water, dunk your arse in it, have a bit of a shimmy about, wash off any of those cleg nuts. Whoa. And away you go. Like an upside down shout. No, sorry. They probably do them nowadays, but the only bidets I've seen in France were obviously quite old. I think the one at Mum and Dad's just had taps at their old house. Front and back at the same time. Dad washes his feet in his. I think, did they have one in their bathroom in the new house? Yeah, he took it out, yeah. But yeah, I thought that was a bit strange. Mum and Dad's new house, they had a bidet in the bathroom. I think they did, and Dad took it out. But the toilet wasn't in the bathroom. the toilet is in a different room. So you've obviously got to do your business. Come straddling through like John Wayne. And then hop onto the bidet. Oh dear. What a picture that would be. The trouble is you've got to come out the toilet, go into the hallway, into the bathroom. So you'd have to do it when nobody was about. What, and knocked it out? Yeah. It's a funny old thing, isn't it, bidets? It's like those Japanese toilets that when you finish on them, you press a button and a thing comes out and washes your ass. It probably would count as a bidet, but not so sure it'd be so good for the wildlife that was in your pond. Use the curtains. Yeah, but if there's somebody else in the house. Imagine Mum comes wandering through from the lounge to the kitchen and you're John Wayne in it from the toilet to the bathroom. Oh, hello. Oh dear. Disgusting. Let's have another slurp. I'm drying up. So yeah, Tina's going to get a prescription tomorrow and then go to the pharmacy and get some drugs. If they've got them in. They should have. British toilet humour. That was one of the things I got accused of at school by my English teacher. What'd she say? Because I used to talk about arses a lot in my English lessons. You know, calling people an arse and basically stuff like that. She said, Ben, you've got an anal fixation. I said, no, I haven't. She was a weird looking woman. Mrs. Broadhead, her name was. She used to put your nappy on. Yeah, she won't be doing it anymore. Not that I wear a nappy. Outgrown those ever so slightly. Oh, they tried putting a nappy on me in the hospital, didn't they? Yeah. Well, it was in the centre, wasn't it? No. I think it was, the first day in the centre. They brought these bloody adult nappies out. What the bloody are you doing with that? Oh, you've got to put it on. You've got to put it on. Jesus Christ. Lasted a day. That one wasn't going through that again. I can go to the toilet very well, thank you. Don't need a bloody nappy. Don't need to sit there and shit myself. That desk is 23 degrees. The new glasses are quite good. I go outside, the reactor lights go wallop straight away. And it's like, oh, this is quite clever. But when I come back indoors, it takes ages for them to go clear again. And it's like, oh, it's dark in here. Tina, put the lights on. And, what do you want the lights on for? It's not dark. So I take my glasses off and it's, oh, no, it's not dark. Oh, dear. Yeast. I had my other glasses on today. I don't know why, but when I ordered them, I ordered Polaroid lenses. And I had it in my head that there was going to be clear lenses with a polarising function in them, because it says that they cut out vertical light, I think. Anyway, they turned up their sunglasses. Not that's a problem, because I used them today in the car. They're absolutely brilliant. These would be just as good, because obviously they go dark. But the other ones are like just sunglasses, and they're like really. I put them on, it's like, oh, it's really clear. How'd you like that? Yeah. So it was a bit of a rigmarole getting her eyes tested. But luckily, last year, Tina decided she couldn't see anything. So she said, well, we need to get booked in with the optician. So we found the optician, phoned them up in October. And they said, yeah, we can do you in January. And I think it was December they phoned up, didn't they? Says we're going to have to postpone you till February. So yeah, I just went in there. I couldn't fit through the bleeding door. I fancy having a door that you can't get a wheelchair in. It's not that big. It's only 70 centimetres at the widest bit. That must have been a really narrow door. Anyway, I got through it just. On reception, they'd already put your puffer machine on your eyes and that, and because luckily I took my old pair of glasses and they put them in a machine, and they can tell what your prescription already is. So that was quite clever. Never seen that before. But then I hadn't had my eyes tested for about 15 years. So they did all that in reception. So we was waiting, and the optician called us through. Sat on a chair, had to read the thing on the wall. It was projected onto the wall. It wasn't like the old-fashioned thing. Anyway, did all that. She puts these glasses on me, and then she held this thing in front of me, and where is it easier to read, close or far away? And they take pictures of your eyes in the UK. She was doing something on a machine. The actual optician, they pulled the machine around in front of her, and she was having a good old look in there. And but you needed a stronger prescription, which was quite good. Tina, on the other hand, well, different story. Trouble is with hobbits, their eyes are on the side of their head, aren't they? I'm waiting for a comment. No, she's not biting tonight. Yeah, so that's all sorted. Yeah. Well, it's like a dentist, isn't it, having bad breath? In fact, I haven't been to the dentist for bloody years. And I can't get into our dentist. Tina's been to our dentist up the road. Spent about... Was it 10 weeks? 12 weeks. She had 12 weeks, kept going back to the dentist. So they got their money's worth out of her. I think in the UK they would just pull all your teeth out and give you some falsies, wouldn't they? But in France they tend to want to keep fixing your teeth. Oh, we've got the dogs on the telly behind me now. Oh look, what wonder they're up to? Moseying around. Oh, that's this house. Look at that wallpaper. Superb. Oh, there's Tina. Tina on the telly. That's how our kitchen used to be. Shocking. No, because I would imagine that I'll have to be fixing the Panda. Don't know what's wrong with it yet, because we've not had a look. The healthcare and stuff over here is pretty good. Apparently, I don't know how true it is, but one of my mates from years back works in a hospital in the UK. He was in the operating theatre doing operations that I had done. And obviously when I went into surgery and that, he came out and visited, and I was out of it, so I don't even know. But he said that if I was still in the UK, I probably wouldn't have survived it. But you don't know. Everything just fell into place when it happened to me. So, luckily we came home a day early because we was over at Mum and Dad's. I think Mum and Dad was... Oh, they was in New Zealand, weren't they? Yeah. So we was over there feeding the cat and stuff, and we was going to come back on the Monday, but I had a backache. So I said to Tina, I said, "Oh, so should we go home today?" We fed the cat, and I said, "Have a night in our own bed." And so we went home on the Sunday, and it was Monday that it happened. Mum and Dad's old house was a bit more rural and out in the sticks. So saying that, the ambulance could have still got there in quite good time, but luckily, when it did happen, Tina was about to go out with the dogs, and it's as she came through the room with the dog's leads and everything, I said, "Oh, that's when it happened." Her pain was going down my front, and so luckily I caught her. Because if she'd been out with the dog, she could have been a couple of hours, and she could have come back to me dead on the floor. And so luckily the ambulance crew was pretty quick. They seemed to be... I almost remember, I think they tried to get me to take a pill, didn't they? Yeah, I do remember sort of vaguely. I was awake through all of it, but I don't remember any of it. But I do remember getting them they got me to sit up and try and take a pill. Then it was straight to hospital, in the scanner, in a helicopter, down to Bordeaux, in for surgery. So it all happened quick and it all fell into place, and I'm still here today. Touch wood, I will be for a bit longer. But so my mate who works, he was doing this in the same operations. He said I wouldn't have made it if I was in the UK. But who knows? So yeah, I do think the French healthcare thingy is pretty good. Not so sure about the rehabilitation side of it, because they seem to have got a bit bored with me after a while. I think I wasn't seeing any improvement. And I was just stuck in there, wanted to get home basically. Hadn't seen the dogs for 8 months. But yeah, they sort of gave up. I did have that really bad bed sore, so they was just concentrating on the top half of my body. And they didn't do anything with my legs, really. Oh, what with buffering? It says I've got excellent connection. 5-year plan? I don't know what's going on here. I think we're back on. I haven't got a 5-year plan. I don't even know what I'm doing next week, let alone 5 years. There's things that we want to do that we've got set out. Garage done. Yeah, it was buffering or doing something. I don't know if it's from my computer to the YouTube. But I think we're back. Yeah, obviously we need to do stuff. We've got the garage to do. We've got the vegetables, get the greenhouse up and get all that done. And the barn next to the house this side, we want to get that floor concreted and have the gym set up in there, and probably the woodworking tools. We've got a wood lathe and we've got a lot of wood. We've got a wood bandsaw and bits and pieces like that. That'll probably go in the barn, because I don't really want that up in the garage. Tina wants a little space setting up because she, for her little hobbies, she does. What's that thing you do with the stones? That round thing. Oh yeah, she does like stone polishing and all that kind of thing with a... Goes round in a drum. So she'll have a bit of space out there for that. We was going to knock through and have like a living room out there and maybe a bit of a dining room, but we don't need it. Yeah, we might knock a door out the back in the barn out so we can get out the tumbler. That's it, a stone tumbler. Might put a door out the back so I can get out the back of the garden and that. Eh? Yeah. So that's just plans. So whether that's he'd be retired by then. So I suppose that is probably our 5-year plan. And then just keep the woods nice. We've still got some work to do in the woods with all the dead trees and that. I mean, I have pulled a hell of a lot out, but there's still quite a lot of standing dead and stuff that's fallen over on the floor. Just want to get that cleared up. And we've got wild garlic growing. I was on the digger the other day and we went for a drive around the woods while I was on the digger. Might be dead. Oh, okay. That's optimistic, isn't it? Well, with the Range Rover, we thought the gearbox was going to be what was causing us the problems, but the gearbox is still going, although, you know, it judders about a little bit, but it's other things that keep breaking on it. So we will get it fixed, but no, just things take time, don't they? We'd like to have got the garage floor concreted by now, but I don't even know if Brickos are open now, because I saw a thing where it says what shops are going to be shut and what shops are going to be open, non-essential stuff, and it did list like Leroy Merlin and another shop, which they're basically like hardware Brickos, aren't they? Which sell all kinds of stuff. So whether the builders merchants will be open still, because we need to order some chalk and some reinforcing and some membrane. So I don't know how far this lockdown has gone. But then, do we really want strange people coming to the house, breathing their germs? Oh, I don't know. But yeah, so we'll have to see how things go. You just never know what's going to happen. But we're in a good spot here. We're quite rural. We don't have people calling in. I think Tina said to the nurse not to bother coming because we're not. We're not an emergency. I've got a plaster on my arse because I had a bed sore last year, and they're still putting a plaster on it just to protect the new skin. Tina can change that. That's not a problem. And we're going to tell physio not to bother coming for a while. I don't think physio is going to be coming anyway because his bloody arm, he's got tendonitis. He couldn't do anything. He said, like last time, he said, I won't do anything on the bed because it's too much exercise or whatever he said. He was holding himself a bit funny as well. Oh, she's used to it. $33.9. That comment was 33.9 degrees. Door-to-door salespersons. We're not quite often, but we do get people knocking on the door asking if we want any stuff doing. a bloke was desperate to cut the ivy off the house, and he was going to do it for €400. And I said to Tina, I said, there's no way he'll start that job and want double, because it was a bit of a pain in the arse. So I said, no, thank you. We'll do it ourselves. And then he wanted to clean the path out the front of the house. I'll show you what I've got, he says, obviously all in French. And Tina was out there watching him, and he just sprayed like this bleach on the path. Did he even wash it off? No, he just left this bleach on the path. And it wasn't clean at all, was it? It's like, no, mate, jog on. And Tina was out one day, and bloke knocked on the door, and he said, "Oh, you've got any jobs you want doing?" That cup is 22.5 degrees, and it's empty. I said, no, thank you. And then he wanted to buy the car. He said, how much do you want for the car? I said, it's not for sale. He said, how much for the camion? I said, we haven't got a van. I said, what camion? Camion is lorry. Camionette is sort of a van. A fourgon is a van as well. So just to confuse you. I was like, what camion? We haven't got one. He says, that over the Range Rover. I said, no, mate, it's not for sale. Jog on. Then we had a bloke come round for some scrap, but I was down the bottom on the digger, and he was jumping and waving his hands at the fence. And I thought, I'm not driving all the way up there to speak to you, mate. Come back another day. I only have 2 cups of tea a night, because I should be piddling all night. I can't be doing with that. So, dry old house. I've had 2 cups of tea. During the day, it's not so bad. But I limit myself of a night time because, can't be doing having to go to the toilet once I've got into bed. Sod that. Pissing about like that. It's bad enough when I was walking. So yeah, we don't get door-to-door salesmen. What was I going to say? That's why I got my water. Having said that, I've drunk more water, so I probably will be pissing all night. It's not a lot of good when you ain't got a biscuit, though. Hey? All right. France are just sending 30,000 skiers back to the UK. Paul Jarvis is skiing somewhere at the moment. I don't know if... Hey? Well, no, he's probably not. Let me just have a look at his profile on FB. Because he put a post on it. It was only the other day. Paul Jarvis. Come on, where are you? On the 8th of March. Oh, well, you know, Dad, because you've liked his picture. He is in Les Deux Alpes at Mont de Long. So he might be getting sent home as well. It's one of my cousins. But he's as old as my dad. Yeah, 30,000 people. Bloody hell. I did see something about that earlier, actually. But I see a lot of headlines. And I don't read them because it's a bit, well, I'll sort of pick which news article to read. Tina tells me most of the news, so I get all my news from her, and the weather, of course. Tina has got a bit of a thing with the weather. Eh? Yeah, you do. How many weather apps you got? 3? She's got 2 weather apps and she uses 5 weather sites. Me, I look out the window. Oh, look, it's raining today. Oh, look, it's sunny today. Oh, a bit of snow today. But anyway, I bought Tina a weather station. And we had it up at the old house. Obviously, we took it down when we came here. And we've not put it up anywhere yet. Not sure where we're going to put it because it's only got a 10 metre range. The thing that you have indoors, it's all done radio waves. It only reaches 10 metres, so I'm not quite sure where we're going to put that. We'll come up with a plan. She's now going on about the washing line's too far away from the house.
It's not that it's too far away, it just looks really lonely.
She says now we've chopped the trees down, the washing line looks really lonely. So, I did get you another spike, didn't I? Yeah, we got another spike for the oh shit, what's it called? Washing line. Eh? It's a whirligig. It's a posh one. It's a Brabantia. Fed up with buying cheap rubbish. Bought a decent one. And so far, the cover fell apart, but I bought a heavy duty cover for it now. Saying that she's not used it this year so far. Thank you very much. Just had a super chat. All appreciated. I'll go towards something for the channel. I have actually. I've sort of saved up my YouTube earnings. I don't make a lot of money out of YouTube. You couldn't live on it, put it like that. Anyway, if I have a good month, that's about €75 through ad revenue and this, that, and the other. So if, you know, buy some bog roll. Yeah, so I try to put my YouTube earnings to one side. Obviously, over Christmas and that's not happened because I've been buying Christmas presents and bits and pieces. And but anyway, I said to Tina, do you mind if I use my YouTube earnings to buy something to improve the channel slightly? Obviously, we've got good camera, we've got good audio. Obviously, all the gear we've got is quite good. It's just me that lets it down. So I've put my YouTube earnings towards a bit of kit, which hopefully I've ordered it off Amazon, and it hopefully should be here soon at some point. I'll do a video on it when it comes here, but that should hopefully just add a little bit of something to it. I need a tea maker. I'll get a goblin Teasmade. My mum and dad had one of them goblin Teasmade. I think Sunday mornings, when we lived down in Kent, it was in their bedroom. And Sunday mornings, I always remember going into their bedroom on Sunday morning and having a cup of tea out of the goblin Teasmade. And the bloody noise that the alarm used to make, it always used to the top used to light up. You used to go, "Meh!" And I thought, all right, time to get up. But yeah, funny old things, isn't they? Goblin Teasmade. I think my grandma and grandpa had one as well. But I remember Dad used to take a tray of cups and obviously some milk. Tea bags used to go in the teapot, water in the water side, obviously. Yeah, and it used to boil it up, put the hot water in, and there you go. Yeah, those were the days. I don't suppose people do that anymore. Have a cup of tea in bed. out of a Teasmade, obviously. You know, I know people do have tea in bed, breakfast in bed, coffee in bed. But just seems a bit of an old-fashioned thing to do. What meal do you make that your dad likes the best? I don't know. You'd have to ask him. Most stuff's probably too spicy. I know Mum doesn't like spicy food, and sometimes when I do stuff, I forget, and it's like, oh, sorry. I think Dad can tolerate a bit more spice than Mum. That light bulb is 61 degrees. I have my tea in a cup. Generally, yes, or in a mug. Dad likes a nice ruby. Ruby, 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 ruby. Yeah, I did a nice carbonara the other night. Not a lot goes into that, and it's really nice flavour. Tina makes the pasta. She did tagliatelle, which was puckerding. It has got a temperature at 60 odd degrees, so we'll steer clear of that. Yeah, Tina made some tagliatelle. Black coffee. Oh, Tina's coffee drinker. Mum likes coffee. Oh, it's bloody awful. Even the smell of it. Jesus. What is wrong with you people? Ah. Ooh. I can't hear her. I'm waiting for a comment.
What's the point?
Oh, sounds like she's got a bag on now.
I'm thinking about making another one now.
Oh, you go on then, make I don't want another one.
Bring it in and wave it under your nose.
Oh God, no. No, I've never ever liked coffee. Somebody gave me a cup of coffee once. I'd been out on the piss and we crashed on someone's floor, and the girl whose house it was came round in the morning and put a cup of drink by everybody that was on the floor. Oh, brilliant! Thanks very much. Of course, I sat up, hungover, still half asleep, swigged a mouthful. Oh my God, it was awful. I've never ever liked coffee for some reason.
I feel the same about tea.
Well, I know you feel the same about tea, but oh dear, just strange. Brown sauce is not food of the devil, and if it is food of the devil, then I'm going down. Brown sauce is fan-bloody-tastic. Especially on a bacon butty. I like brown sauce on shepherd's pie. The only reason I started having brown sauce on shepherd's pie is because my ex made the worst shepherd's pie going. It was as bland as arseholes. It was awful. So the only way I could possibly stomach it was to cover it in brown sauce, and it actually had a bit of flavour then. Don't have that trouble with Tina. Her cooking is rather good.
Oh, thank you very much.
And I keep buying her all this stuff for the kitchen, so... What did you say the other day? I'm glad you bought that.
I said about I love making the pasta.
Yeah,
I'm glad I bought it.
because she likes making pasta. Obviously, you've got to mix it up. You need it, and then it goes through the rolling machine and stuff. She really enjoys all that kind of thing. She says, "Oh, I'm really glad you bought this machine for me." I says, "I'm really glad I bought it as well. I bought you a biscuit making machine, but we've not tried that yet."
Oh, for God's sake, give up on the biscuits.
Sorry?
So give up on the biscuits.
I'm just saying, we've not had a biscuit out of the biscuit machine yet.
Right, I'll make some next week.
Oh, next week.
No, you'll be doing that in a fortnight. I'll make some in a fortnight.
Oh. She said she's going to do some in a fortnight, so when we do a next fortnightly upstream, live stream, upstream without a paddle, Oh, shit. I've been on here too long, talking rubbish. What was invented first? Brown sauce, red sauce, or mayonnaise? I've no idea. It's probably mayonnaise. Heinz ketchup's been out for a long time, but I would imagine it's probably mayonnaise has been out longest. Who knows? I like them all. Mayonnaise with red sauce makes... What does it make, Tina? Mary Rose? That's a ship. Oh. Well, Tina calls it Mary Rose sauce for prawn cocktail. Tomato sauce mixed in with mayonnaise. It's not quite fouls. Mary. Oh, Mix just said Mary Rose as well. I thought Mary Rose was a ship. That's the one that was on Blue Peter all that time, wasn't it? Henry VIII's flagship. Bit of history. Don't get Tina started on history because we will be here all night. She's just shouted out it's Kevin's mum. Mary Rose was Henry VIII's flagship, which obviously sunk because... Eh? Was it? Oh. What did it sink of then? Oh, bad workmanship apparently. But it didn't even make one sailing. So it was a really good flagship. And I remember years ago on Blue Peter, because they brought it up, didn't they? Yeah, there was only a few beams left, wasn't there? Yeah, I remember it being on Blue Peter. Back in the day. Who was on Blue Peter when we were kids? Janet Ellis. Peter Duncan. And what's the bloke who had the dog? Can't think what his bloody name is. It was Simon someone. No, because Sarah Green was on there as well. John Noakes. No, that was a bit before my time, John Noakes. I can't remember his bloody name now. But he had a golden retriever, didn't he? And he had a farm somewhere. Back in the day on Blue Peter, when they used to make stuff out of double-sided sticky tape and yoghurt pots, fairy liquid bottles, they used to make Christmas decorations out of metal coat hangers and tinsel. Mary Rose sank because it fired a broadside too many guns and just made it capsize when firing. What was his name? Simon Groom? With a G? Simon Groom. That's it. And what was his dog called? Bonnie? I'm sure it was because it was always in the studio. Mark Curry. He's ginger-haired bloke, isn't he, Mark Curry? I seem to remember him on there. Eh? Yeah, I do as well now. Oh, we're going back some years now. Goldie! That's right. The dog, he had a golden retriever called Goldie. That was original, wasn't it?
What was the first dog?
Shep.
Yeah, then it was Petra, wasn't it?
Petra? Shep. Down Shep. I don't remember those ones. I remember Percy Thrower used to do the garden. Bouncer was the only dog from my... Bouncer? Wasn't that the dog in Neighbours? Or am I getting confused? But yeah, that was Blue Peter back in the day. I'm trying to think what else. John Craven's News Round. God. I remember the last kids programme on telly before we had to go for our tea was Will o' the Wisp. Bouncer was from Neighbours. Oh, no, that was Wellard. Grange Hill. Grange Hill. I always remember Grange Hill when that sausage on the fork used to come across the comic strip. Yeah, Will o' the Wisp. And that we could just squeeze in Will o' the Wisp before we'd have tea. I always remember that. And that was normally followed by You Wait Till Your Dad Gets Home. The sausage on a fork, yeah. Grange Hill. Mr. Bronson, he was in Grange Hill. What was the headmistress called? McCluskey, that's right. McCluskey. Yeah, Grange Hill. And then they had all the cartoons. Trying to think what they did have now. Tucker Jenkins. Yeah. We used to have a lot of what cartoons was there? He-Man, Masters of the Universe. Way, I have the power. Thundercats. Well, that was towards the end of my childhood viewing Thundercats. Super Ted, Banana Man, Danger Mouse, Danger Mouse, Penfold, and Baron Greenback. He was the Toad, wasn't he? Count Duckula. I said Super Ted, didn't I? He-Man must. Sorry? Dungeons and Dragons. Tom and Jerry. No, that's bloody. Grandad Bill used to record Tom and Jerry on his Betamax video, so that when we used to go around there, he used to put the cartoons on for us. Always remember that. Ivor the Engine. Gummy Bears. Now, you see, Dwayne, you're a little bit younger than us. Gummy Bears. I suppose you used to watch Care Bears and Mask. I had Mask. Now, there you're talking. I had Rhino, the lorry. Oliver had Hurricane, which was the 57 Chevy, which you twisted the top and it popped up and an extra axle dropped down. Those Mask toys were brilliant. Yeah, I loved that. I always remember that. Rhino, the lorry. GoBots, oh dear. Transformers, obviously. The A-Team, Dukes of Hazzard, Incredible Hulk, Airwolf, Blue Thunder. Now, in the A-Team, nobody ever died. Those horrific crashes that they used to get into, you know, the American Army Jeeps used to tumble about and this, that and the other. Now, in the trapdoor, stay away from that trapdoor. You're a fool if you dare, because there's something down there. Burk. Sorry. The Wide Awake Club with Timmy Mallet, wasn't it? Now, he was a bit of a strange one. Old Timmy Mallet. Chips. I think we used to watch Chips. We used to go around to Grandma and Grandpa's house. And I always remember having bangers and mash. Grot bags. That was the pink windmill. Grot bags. I always remember going around. It must have been a Saturday night. And we'd have sausages and mashed potatoes. Because Grandpa was a butcher and he made the sausages. And I always remember watching Chips around there. Grot bags. Now, she couldn't have ever got very far because she used to fly on a vacuum cleaner. Well, a vacuum cleaner cord is only so long, isn't it? Button Moon. Let's go to Button Moon and follow Mr. Spoon. Button Moon. Then you've got all the old favourites. Trumpton. Portland Bill. Pigeon Street. I always remember Pigeon Street because it used to go boo, 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 boo. Cockleshell Bay. It was cordless. What was cordless? But now, kids' tellies now, Fraggles down a Fraggle Rock. There's a rude version that I was about to sing, but I thought, nah, better not. Roger Ramjet. I had a video of Roger Ramjet. Hoover. Cordless. Lost City of Gold. I vaguely remember something about that. There's quite a lot. Ivor the engine. Oh, Ivor, you've been a naughty little engine. He's going to Swansea. Nearly did 60 and broke a piston. Ivor. Well, here comes Jones the steam. Saturday Swap Shop. I vaguely remember it, but I don't think we ever watched it. I don't think we ever watched a lot of Saturday telly. Yes, please. Or flatten the battery. Tina's childhood viewing is a bit different to ours. Because you only watched BBC, didn't you?
Yeah.
Tina's household would only watch BBC because it didn't have any adverts. Yeah, I was at work. Well, see now, kids today, I don't know what it is. They ain't got nothing about them, have they? I had my first Saturday job when I was 11. And I think I did start doing 2 days a weekend up at the stables. I was only getting paid £5 a day, but it was a job. You don't hear of kids doing that nowadays. But when I'd started at the garage, that's right. And no, before I started at the garage, I was going out and doing odd jobs on Saturdays. That's right, I'd get up. I used to meet the milkman up in town at 4 o'clock in the morning. We'd load up his milk thing. I'd go and do half the milk round with him. So I'd be back home for about 8 o'clock, have breakfast, go down the road, muck out some stables, and she used to do me breakfast. And then I'd go somewhere else, and they used to do me breakfast. But I used to earn more money on a Saturday than I got from the whole week. So Mick Ness is leaving us. Another evening of fun and memories. Stay safe. Yes. Wash your hands 2 times happy birthday. Or if, like Tina, she says, I love rock and roll. But it's I love sausage rolls. Stick another one in the oven, baby. Just wash your hands. Simple as that. You don't have to sing a bleeding song, do you? So I think, actually, it's probably come to that time of night where I'm going to foxtrot Oscar, because I've been on for 2 hours and 45 minutes talking absolute rubbish, but hopefully keeping you entertained. And I hope I'm going to pronounce your name right. Fatima. Thank you for the super chat. It's very much appreciated. So probably going to knock it on the head now. Coming up to 3 hours nearly. Ooh. I would think that you probably get bored of this, but the same people keep coming back for more. Yeah, speak to you soon, Dad. Probably on Face thingy later. Or not later. Whenever. In a few days. Whenever. So, yeah, we'll see how this thing all pans out. Oh, look, the video on behind me is Oliver's bike. So we'll see what happens in the next coming days, weeks, or anything. Let me know if you want another live stream, just to have a chat, anything while things are in lockdown. We'll just talk rubbish, and that's basically about it. We're still going to be putting out videos to keep people entertained, and to keep us doing stuff and what have you. So, yeah, I'm going to call it a night and get all finished up on here. And stop waffling. Bye for now. Yeah, keep a check on me. We'll still be here. We're all isolated. After Tuesday, we're locked in. Don't need to go anywhere. Shut the doors. Don't let anyone in until it all blows over. Hopefully, fingers crossed, and not too many people get ill and sick and whatever. So keep yourself safe out there. Keep your hands clean. Keep the rest of your body clean, because we don't want people walking around stinking. And keep away from public spaces with lots of people, especially if they're coughing and sneezing. And we'll catch you in the next live stream. If a lot of people want me to do one next week, we'll have a recap over the week and see what's happening in the world. If not, I'll do it in a fortnight's time. So thank you all for coming tonight. It's been rather enjoyable again, and we'll catch you next time. Bye for now.
You need to start on the comic strips and that earlier in the evening. That keep you going till about 3 o'clock in the morning.
Yeah.